the bus. Are you driving the bus? Is that
driving the bus?
Driving the bus. Passenger on. Driving, passenger on. Driving, passenger. Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Two Happy Greens. This is our cheers to you. Cheers to you. Oh,
the internet. Cheers.
Cheers. This is our 66th episode.
Holy bananas.
Is that a 6?
Margo, your hair looks fantastic today.
Thanks. I'm channeling my inner Grace Adler from Will and Grace.
Oh my God!
Yep, that's really good. Yeah.
I just realized that I don't have any of the hashtags pulled up.
Hey guys, welcome to Tea Time with Two Happy Greens, your bi-weekly. Now we're sort of. It's a bit of a mess in the summertime. Your show where we talk about YA books.
This episode, we're going to be talking about books that change our view of the world.
Not books that rocked your world, just books that made you look at the world in a different way.
Yeah, because when you get down to it, that's pretty much what books is about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
if you are new and you are watching on YouTube and you want to comment, there's a comment thingy over here, and I've got that up. And Aubrey has Twitter pulled up, so you can tweet us #TeaTime.
Look, when you do #TeaTime, there's the first thing that comes up with
kittens with a Union Jack.
Got a good hashtag. And if it is your first time, I apologize because I think it's going to be a weird one.
It is going to be a weird one. We spent all morning filming a new Book Nerd Problems episode. Have you guys seen our new little series?
So this is like the first time that we've also gotten on YouTube where like we're making other videos now.
Yeah, not just tea time.
Not just tea time.
And not us like doing weird things like learning how to throw knives and stuff.
I know. Are you guys liking them? Are you watching them? If not, after you watch this, you should go maybe watch them because I think they're funny.
They are funny.
Lauren says, "Hi Margo, hi Aubrey, hi Lauren Han,
hi Lauren Han,
hi
Amanda."
I am in a weird mood and my shoe is stuck on this chair.
Amanda says it's her first time at Tea Time. What up, Amanda?
Hi, welcome.
This
is Tea Time. What are you reading this week, Margo?
I was reading Burn for Burn because for some reason, every time it's summer rolls around, I just immediately want to read like something like fun and silly and just like feel good. So I was reading Burn for Burn, but then this showed up on my desk yesterday, so I'm not reading it.
So I'm not. I stopped and now I'm reading it. I saw a couple of people flock to your desk. Like you tweeted a picture of it, and people like showed up at her desk.
Our coworker Alana, shout out to Alana if she's watching.
Hi, Alana.
She borrowed it and read it within 24 hours and gave it back to me. I was like, damn, girl. So
that's some heavy reading skills.
What are you reading this week? What are you guys reading?
Tweet at us using the hashtag and then comment in the comments or.
And by the way, there is no giveaway this week. We are still sort of in our new office and trying. We don't even know how to mail books out yet, so. Sorry. I just finished on the subway today Say What You Will by Cammie McGovern, which came out last week. I think it's a new release. I'm in love with the color. Oh, God. Isn't this cover amazing?
It's really good. The whole packaging is really great.
Oh! I didn't even notice that.
I've been reading an arc of it, so I didn't even notice that. That's beautiful.
So cute.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well done, whoever designed that.
Hi, I'm taking you home now.
I should do another little interview with whoever hand lettered.
Yeah. But we'll talk about it a little bit more because I will talk about this is definitely one of the books that changed my view of the world. Because it is about a girl who has cerebral palsy. She's the main character. And you fall in love with her immediately, and she's like amazing. But I've never known anybody with cerebral palsy, so I don't know what that life is like. She befriends somebody with OCD, extreme OCD, which I've known people with OCD, not as far as Matthew has in the book. But they kind of help each other. It's a beautiful story. It is very touching
and so well written.
Yes, it's very beautiful and very moving, and again shines a light into a world that I have never experienced. So I enjoyed that.
So we're going to check in here with Twitter and YouTube and see what y'all be reading.
Sabrina is reading A Dance with Dragons.
Are you dancing with them?
Is there fire?
Piper's Book Nook on YouTube says, I'm currently reading Pandemonium. I need to catch up on these trilogies.
Oh, yeah. We've got a couple of series binges we can recommend for you. refugees.
Karen's Gap is reading The Great Gatsby. If you like The Great Gatsby, you should check out Great by Sara Benincasa. It is a retelling of Great Gatsby set in modern times, but with lady love.
Lady love. It's a lot of fun.
It's super fun. Super, super fun.
I liked it so much.
Kayla Smiles, Clockwork Angel. Tiff, mostly YA lit, just finished, or she's still reading We Were Liars.
Ooh, Lisa at Last and Lit is reading Dorothy Must Die.
What up? Yesterday at work, Aubrey actually made a Dorothy Must Die reference just in casual conversation, and I was
It's
just
like
like,
all part of it.
That's awesome. Like, that's happening now. Perma-smile. For those moments when you're like, I'm dying inside, or I'm killing you in my mind, but I'm just going to keep smiling. Perma-smile.
Keely Martin, I think, is reading The Infinite by Jody Meadows today.
Nice. Learning Lights on YouTube. Currently reading My Life Next Door. I love that cover. It's so pretty.
Everybody wants your copy of. Yeah.
You can't have it.
You can't have it. That's everyone saying, gimme.
It'll probably be stolen by the end of the day. Not gonna lie. I should keep it under lock and key. So we weren't here last week because summer we go on a bi-weekly schedule.
So yeah, there were a lot of books that came out last. Well, here's these two are last week's.
Go for it. Okay, last week.
And Say What You Will.
Last week, Say What You Will by Cammie McGovern. Fun facts, if you didn't already know this, Cammie McGovern's sister is the Dowager Countess on Downton Abbey.
Yep.
Fun lady. Facts. And she's good friends, and Cammie is good friends with Curtis Sittenfeld, if you read Prep back in the day. Yeah.
Cammie's we've met her a couple of times, and she is like,
she's so lovely.
A very lovely, lovely person, and funny. So funny, like shockingly.
We were playing table topics with her, and every question we asked, we just got a bullshit answer, and then she's like, but you probably want a better one, right? And we're like, no, that's good. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want.
She's really funny. So that is out. I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed reading it.
Pretty Little Liars fans! Congratulations, 2 more seasons of the show just got renewed, but you will also have the 15th book. Oh my God,
that's a good run.
I've never actually looked at it. Oh,
Your Poison.
I think there's a little quote on the naked version of a lot of these.
Also new, Vivian Devine is Dead by Lauren Sabel. This is Hollywood starlet goes on the run in Mexico. Oh, are you gonna dress it? Yes.
Oh, it's got a little thingy. It's a little rose. That's so cool.
This is one of my favorite covers in our cover reveal roundup, which we're getting more cover reveals.
Yes, next week.
Soon.
Next week we're actually. See, this is why it's a little confusing. I'm sorry, but next week we will be here. We're not off next week because the following week we're gonna be in VidCon. So next week we will be here, and it's cover reveal week. So we'll be revealing some covers and sharing our favorites, and maybe we could bring on a cover designer to like talk about their process. That would be kind of cool. Also, last week. Okay.
Yeah, take a moment.
Okay.
Take a moment.
Okay, so the new paperbacks for the Old Kingdom trilogy came out. Sabriel, Lirael, and Abhorsen. And look at you can't see, but look, there's shiny. There are shiny charter marks on all 3 of them. It's very exciting.
This is one of the things that I have not read yet, but Margot is the biggest.
It's like
I don't even know. Like
my actual teenage self is like
she can't handle herself or talk about it. But we'll be doing. I'm going to do a series binge with anyone who hasn't been reading these.
We are going to be doing a month-long series binge for this series in September, I believe. Is it September? Because Clariel comes out in October.
And so, literally anybody that you talk to that is in YA. Like, has this reaction as soon as you mention these series, and I feel bad that I haven't read them.
It's so good.
So we'll do it together if you and the internet has not.
And at the end of our readathon, our month-long readathon, we're going to have Garth Nix here in the office. We'll try to bring him on either a tea time or a spree cast, but we're going to have some kind of live chat with him, and I'm really excited. So if you haven't read them and you're wanting to, go ahead and read them now or wait until our readathon. But there's new paperbacks. And I just wanted to show you guys. These are the original covers. look at how cool these are.
I like the original. I mean, I like them both.
The original covers are very much of the time period when
yeah.
these came out, which was the 90s and
Yeah.
early 2000s. Plus, the illustrators of the original covers are a husband and wife duo. But I believe it was the husband that died, or the wife. One of them. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
They're beautiful illustrations.
But people have asked why they don't look. Clariel doesn't look like this, and that's the reason why. Also, the husband and wife duo are very old, so they're very old.
But now we got a whole beautiful new series.
And I think, honestly, I think that whoever designed these did a really excellent job of updating them. They feel modern, but also true to the series. I mean, look.
Like the little illustrations at the bottom, yeah.
Mogget is on the cover. Meow. He's a sassy talking cat.
Awesome.
So that's that.
Also, and then we have
this week.
Goodness.
This is a big week.
This was a big week.
It's a huge week. This is all of this week's new hardcovers.
Hi, pretties. Go for it.
All right. Wicked Games by Sean Olin. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a really sexy photo going on.
That is a really sexy
And this book, if you can't tell, is also very
Sexy. It's a revenge story.
Wicked Games we play. Never felt this way.
You're welcome for that.
If you were not born in the 80s,
or a fan of
VH1. 90s nostalgia, I suggest you look up Chris Isaac's video for Wicked Games.
Maybe do it in the privacy of
It's a sexy
your home.
video.
If you're under the age of, I don't know, young children eyes should not watch it.
But every time I see this cover and hear this book title, all I think is my mind just goes straight back to that 90s music video. So, I also think that there is
it's hot pink.
Hot pink. This is a sexy revenge, new adultish story set in a fictional Florida town. So hot, sweaty, sandy, beachy, summery, sexy, wicked.
Don't You Forget About Me is also out, and this is immediately going into my bag. It is.
See, if we actually sing it, then we'll get in trouble.
This is the author of Another Little Piece, which was one of my favorite books last year.
That book's so weird.
It's so creepy. It's so freaky.
Karyus Quinn wins the award for, weirdest story.
If you want a story where you're you literally don't know what will happen next, and anything could.
And just, even trying to explain it, you're it kind of sounds like, when you try to explain a dream, and it, makes sense to you, but then you try to talk about it, and you're like, that makes no sense.
Yeah. And this, I think this will kind of have the same feel to it. I'm so excited to read it. I really can't wait. It's about a town where everything is perfect, but then every 4 years there's sort of a mass dream-like event where a lot of people do bodily harm to themselves. But not every 4 years. Nobody dies of natural causes. It's kind of like a utopia.
Interesting.
I just read the back.
Yeah.
Let me read it.
Go for it.
Ready?
Yes.
The sleepwalkers climbed on the top of the bridge railing, balanced and jumped. You could see the exact moment they woke from the dream. Mid-air, seconds from the icy water below, their limbs pedaled wildly, seeking for something solid. But this was the 4th year in Gardnerville, and there were no happy endings.
Well, that's depressing. But I'm so intrigued. She's such a good writer, and she's good. Did you master the creek? I haven't undressed it yet.
Oh yeah, undressed.
She had a thing on the cover of Another Little Piece, so I wonder if there's one on this one. Oh, there's
the creepy branches.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
So you can sort of see it. There's some.
It's a lot cooler.
Some creepy branches.
Yeah. Also new. Is the sequel in the game series. To Rush by Eve Silver. It's
video games and aliens and kendo and that is that. Which that's not kendo.
That's not.
Put them away. Put them away.
We should really be sent out to pitch books officially.
Right? We should go to all those bookseller dinners where they have to sell the books, and we'd be like,
kendo fighting and video games and aliens.
All the things. Love these covers. Love this series. Super fun and fast paced, and it's got the sci-fi and the action, and all the good fun things. But yes, this is a sequel. So if you have not read
Rush first.
yes.
That's in paperback now, so you can get it now.
Ooh, it's so pretty and foily.
Also out.
What up, Lindsay Cummings?
The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings.
It is finally here. Shout out to Book Nerdigans. Don't know if that's your universal symbol,
but we'll just do it. This is like for dystopia lovers everywhere to devour.
Dystopia, futuristic. It's got a little bit of sci-fi. It's basically the murder rate is higher than the birth rate, and it's just like.
And this is like the society, the government, like you know, in these dystopian societies, the government has these certain things, and they are in control of the exact population numbers.
Everybody I know that has read this, it's all over our Instagram feed right now. It's just like murder complex, murder complex, murder complex. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So have you guys read it? What do you think? Does anybody else think that the girl on the cover looks like Lindsay?
Let me see.
Doesn't it look
I mean, I haven't met her in real life, but yes.
It does look like her. Isn't her? Probably not, but that would be super cool.
I mean,
no, it's not.
No,
There's Lindsay.
There's Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay. Congratulations, Lindsay.
Book pubbed.
And
then the sequel to Born of Illusion came out by Terry Brown. This is 1920s magic show vibe.
Seances and, you know.
Card tricks and sleight of
magic
hand.
tricks and Harry Houdini. And
it's Harry Houdini's love child and her mom. Scandal. So this is the second book in the series. The first one is Born of Illusion.
Born of Deception. We're going to check in with YouTubes and Twitters right now.
I just did. Caitlin S16 says, I just read The Murder Complex. Gold star for reading. It's really good.
She said she read it this weekend. How? Everybody's really excited to read The Murder Complex. Oh, YouTube is frozen. That's fun.
Oh, cool.
That's fun times.
Yeah, I have a lot of OMG The Murder Complex. All's in my streams.
Oh, wait. Where did YouTube go?
Meredith says, Push has a gorgeous cover. I'm just starting Rush today.
Yay! Push and Rush, they just like look so
They're like
beautiful.
that series match.
Yeah.
It feels good when a series like you're like, yes.
I know. It feels very exciting.
It feels good.
Wow, everybody's all excited about The Murder Complex. What? Tiff and Mostly Lit. Pretty cover for Born of Deception. I love 1920s stuff. The font treatment is great.
And it definitely feels, I read Born of Illusion, and like you slip into another world. Like similarly, if you're a fan of like diviners and stuff, where it's just like from the first kind of sets up of the pages, it's like you know what it feels like to like, it's kind of like that, got that jazzy, you know, like swagger about it. It feels good when you're reading it.
The Murder Complex, we were talking about it the other day because we have a new Things I Learned in YA coming out tomorrow.
We do.
And it's all about survival. Granted, our video is about wilderness survival, but I'm thinking we should probably do like an urban survival.
We should.
And like, you know, use this as
because there's a lot of there's different survival places.
Right.
Like you don't know where you're going to be when the apocalypse happens.
Exactly. You could be in New York City and you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
And we could be in, like, you know, Not a Drop to Drink, the middle of Ohio.
Yeah. And we kind of based it off of that. Like, oh, you are in the woods now.
Yeah, we used Not a Drop to Drink, Partials, and Under the Never Sky as, like, our
because Arya
basis.
has to learn how to be outside of walls.
Exactly. She's like, oh, trees, what is this?
Arian says, you just inspired me to dig out my family's original 1990s copy of Sabriel.
Do it.
Can you give it to me? I want an original copy.
Mine is so tattered up. It's
Yeah?
real sad looking. Yeah.
Veronica Roth was in our office the other day, and she is one of the
She's a huge fan.
Sabriel fan. And we got nerdy about handbells with her.
We may be learning handbells soon.
Maybe.
We might be.
You never know. I don't know.
So.
Oh, it's somebody's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, someone.
Scarlet Buttbog. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I hope you get the Murder Complex for your birthday as well.
Right? Ivy DeLise says Partials is regarding urban survival. True. Partials has a little bit of both. In Partials, there's a little bit of, like, you know, they're out in, like, Long Island, so there's a little bit of out in the wilderness. But then in Fragments, the sequel, it's definitely urban survival. So you are correct, sir. Jennifer Shapiro asks, what is Sabriel about? It's a high fantasy. She's a necromancer. So is her dad. Her dad gets kidnapped, so she needs to go get him from the underworld using bells. Ding, 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 ding. So
today's topic.
About that Slate article.
Oh. You just ruined the party. Here's the thing.
I'm sorry, but when I see something like that, I almost always get excited because it's just like, it's so, if you haven't read that Slate article, don't, because it'll just enrage you.
It will just enrage you. But
we'll sum it up. Basically, she was saying, if you're an adult and you read YA, you should be ashamed. But when something like that is just so unbelievably absurd to me that it's almost like, I'm like, this is a joke, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it was so inflammatory, and then I was like, she got me so angry, and I was so angry all day. I'm just being like, rah, rah.
I think,
and then that amazing thing started where everybody, the YA community is like one of the best communities ever, and it is all just about positivity, and they were like, you know what? Whatever, let's just talk about all the books let's use this to, like, talk about all the books we love.
You know, honestly, I don't care what you read as long as you read.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. You can read dinosaur erotica for all I care.
Yeah.
Just read more.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. Oh, I'm an adult. We are both adults here, obviously. We are not teenagers. And, you know, we read YA, and we don't read it because we have to. We read it because we want to. And
yeah, and, like, I think that, you know, feeling like you have to get, you know, some sort of, like, have to hit a notch of, like, challenging your vocabulary in every sort of sense of, like, literary masterpieces every single time you open a book is, like, wrong.
I know. I mean, it's
wrong.
Just, reading is another form of entertainment, and whatever entertains you, then that's fine, you know?
Yeah.
Like, also that whole thing about, like, how YA, for some reason, just, like, universally doesn't have that literary, like, that highbrowness that adult literature has.
So wrong.
I'm sorry, but there's trash in adult lit just the same as that there's trash in YA. There's trash in every single genre of literature. And YA isn't even a genre. It's just it's an age group. That's it, to describe the characters. The characters are written, you know, about in this age group. But, you know, we have historical fiction. We have all of the same stuff that the adults have.
It was...
Oh, and part of the argument, this is one that really bothered me, that she said that, you know, that YA books are universally satisfying. I was like, girl!
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, like, what enrages me is, like, when you start reading those articles, it's, like, clear that this person has read 2 YA books in their life, and they didn't connect with them. They didn't happen to connect with them, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. They didn't like it. That's something
Don't write down our parade.
But also don't write off a whole thing of what you don't know. I know. Like, you don't know it.
And then, of course, like, all of these articles that are super YA shaming, you know, the saving grace of the YA community happens to be John Green and The Fault in Our Stars, and it's probably the only book that they've read, you know? And I'm sorry, but John Green isn't saving YA, and he isn't, you know, a godsend to this genre. It existed long before him, and it will exist long after him. He happens to be the hot number right now. Before him, Veronica Roth. Before her, Suzanne Collins. Before her, it was Stephanie Meyer. Before her, J.K. Rowling. So there's going to be another person, and he just happens to be the person right now. But to say that he himself is the only person that's really, like, the saving grace of this genre, it's doing a disservice to all the other readers and authors out there.
Extremely talented writers out there. And I think John Green is also out there saying, like, I am not the only person that is writing smart literature in this genre for teens, for adults, for whatever. There's that amazing quote. I think it's like a Sendak quote. It's like amazing. Or it might be a C.S. Lewis is like anything written if... Like, books, basically, I can't even think of the quote right now. Somebody find it. But it was like, books should be enjoyed at any age. If they can't be enjoyed at every age, then they're no good. So it's like saying...
Yeah,
it's so good. They're writers, so they know how to say it better.
Madeline L'Engle, who wrote A Wrinkle in Time, she said, if a book is too complex to write for adults, then write it for children. And I love that. And I love that she's just, you know... I don't know. We could talk about this like forever, just how YA shaming is super popular right now. Hating on the YAs.
I mean, I think
it's anybody, you know, it's whoever becomes really popular, everyone's just going to be like, no. And, you know, YA's hot right now.
Yeah.
Fault in Our Stars, Divergent, we have, you know, all these movies that are coming out.
It's a bullseye on her back. But I will say, out of that article, the number one thing, like, I was very angry for, like, a 2-hour period, like, seething hate. And then, like, I got back online, and it was just like, oh, my God, this is why this community, these readers are smart, they're intelligent, they're kind, they're forgiving. Like,
and they are a community. They are a unit. We are one.
And it was just like, oh, no, this is why I love being a part of this community that reads this type of book. And you know what? Most of the people that read it aren't solely reading YA. They're reading everything.
You know, the thing is, like, I'm actually really glad that Slate article came up because it spawned all these reaction articles and it brought the community together. And in a way, it kind of helped evangelize the community, and it gave us something to all band together. And there have been some really great response articles. Kathleen Hale, who wrote No One Else Can Have You, she wrote a hilarious response in Nerve. She wrote this like whole story of, you know, a whole fake story of her hanging out with the author of the Slate article. It is funny.
Sarah Benacasa wrote a really good response. I mean, there are just tons. Even Neil Gaiman like tweeted really smart, funny things. I just think,
it sucks that it happened, and it sucks that, you know, anybody is shaming anybody for reading anything, because you shouldn't be ashamed to read anything.
No,
read whatever the hell you want.
And that segues into one of the reasons you should read is because it gives you a door into seeing things that is outside of what you encounter every single day. And like that's one of the reasons when you find that book that connects you to something, your mind
blows.
Your
mind. Yes.
Just blows, and you're like, whoa. And I'm sad that woman doesn't understand the honest, pure joy of what a book can do. Because that's totally what that article read like. It was like, oh, well, you're writing like reading should be a chore.
Exactly. Like, oh, I want to sit here and just struggle and not have fun. I just want to have fun when I read it. So what if my mind isn't expanding?
It is expanding, though.
It is, but not according to her. So books that changed your world then, changed your view of the world. What are some of those?
Yeah, like what's a book that you read that was like, I see, like, I'm on this path, and there's something going on over there that I had no idea, and this showed it to me.
The first book that comes to mind when I think of that is Never Fall Down by Patricia McCormick. I wish I had a copy of it with me. I forgot to bring it. That book opened, I feel almost embarrassed to say that I didn't have any idea what the Khmer Rouge was or that whole genocide in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Had no idea that even happened historically. And then I read that book.
You were pretty wrecked when
because first of all, I was like, this story is so raw and brutal, but then just opening up my eyes to this whole thing that even happened, and I was just like, oh my God, I did not know this happened, and it was horrible, but I'm so glad I read it because it opened my mind and my eyes to something that I should know about. But it's not always historical fiction or historical books based on historical facts that, you know, can change your world, but that happens to just be one of mine. What about you?
I think like it's not young adult, but like the first book that I would like when you brought up the topic, I was like, okay, this is what made me like floored me in terms of what the world looks like. I was raised a very religious person, like very, very, very religious, and then I had to read The Scarlet Letter in high school.
Oh yes.
And that just like changed it changed how I looked at the entire world from like moment one, because I think that in the church that I was raised in, there was a lot of shaming that was involved with it, and then I don't say that happens across the board in all religions, but in the culture I was raised in, that, and I felt when I read that book, I was like, the people that you are shaming, you aren't a perfect person either, and how dare you?
Right.
Like, how dare you? And seeing the other side of seeing people as full human beings and not just somebody that I oppose or don't agree with the life decisions they make, or I don't know, that book will always be forever like something that was just like, whoa. Like, take people for well-rounded human beings and try to step in their shoes. I think even on a baseline, that's an amazing thing that books offer, is just a portal into another person's life. It's really great.
Everybody's posting a lot of stuff, and it's really great.
Let's see. I'm going to check in on Twitter.
Scarlet Book Blog, If I Stay by Gail Forman. It was my first YA book, and it was my favorite book of all time. And it's the book in which I transitioned from children's to YA.
Nice. Erica, Books That Changed My Life, Book Thief, Learning Not to Drown, The Fault in Our Stars. It's a funny kind of story. Don't Breathe a Word in Willow.
It's kind of a funny story. It's an amazing book. An amazing one.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying Before I Fall and 13 Reasons Why.
I'm seeing a lot of The Book Thief. I'm seeing a lot of The Fault in Our Stars. And The Fault in Our Stars, I was refreshed about this when I saw the movie on Friday, that it is just it shows you that, like, life generally sucks. It has points where it will suck, and it's how you, like, move through that and still stand and appreciate the life that you have.
Tell the Wolves I'm Home by Carol Rivka Brunt is a book I read last year that, like, rocked my core, and I'm still not quite over it. And it's a book set in the 80s about a girl. It's published as an adult novel, but it's really truly a coming of age novel. She's, you know, a teenager, and she befriends an older gay gentleman who was the lover of her uncle who died from AIDS, and his lover has AIDS as well. And that was at a time when, in the 80s, anybody that had AIDS was immediately shunned because they didn't know much about it. And so you were a pariah of society if you had AIDS. And she befriends him, and they strike up this, like, friendship, and it's just like she learns from him and he learns from her, and he's also kind of dying from AIDS, so it's like on his deathbed, and it's just that whole, you know, because I wasn't really I was born in the 80s, but I wasn't around, you know, so
I wasn't reading right out of the womb.
I think that was such a cultural moment for everyone in that time period, and and it was very brave of Carol to write a book kind of centered on that. It's such a small story, but with such a huge, like, focus, you know. There's a better word for that, but
no, it's like a one personal story in, like, a huge complex issue.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. I think books bring giant issues down to a consumable size because they're, like, personal. Like, you find a name and a face and a person to, like, connect to a bigger idea that you have a hard time. Like, a lot of people are saying a book thief and, like, Nazi Germany. It's just like that. Nazi Germany is a huge concept to get your head around.
But you whittle it down to a story, and it might help. Those stories might help you have a broader understanding of the issues around us. Wild Awake by Hilary T. Smith was also a good one, because my younger sister is bipolar, and I've, like, don't know how she feels, like, what's it like inside of her mind, and so reading about Kiri and her struggles, and she's kind of manic, and she kind of spirals out, and it helps me you kind of get that sense of, like, oh my God, you're all over the place, and just things are kind of out of your control, and you don't know how to, like, wheel them back in, and so it was, so that was very helpful for me.
I will honestly say what you will. Amy has cerebral palsy, which is, like, a clearly, like, you can immediately see that this person has an issue. But then Matthew, who she befriends in the book, has OCD, and I've had people in my life that have had OCD, and it's like, it's something that, you know, you don't see. Like, they only let their core group of people see how it affects them, and they just kind of disappear, and you're kind of like, what happened to that person? Why aren't they around? Or why did they just leave where we were hanging out? And this kind of paints a picture of, like, how debilitating it is to feel like, oh, if something touches me, I have to go spend 20 minutes in the bathroom washing my hands. And like, you get into the interior and, like, in the mind of Matthew, and you're like, that comes from a legitimate feeling in a place. It's not that this person is just insane. It's like, it is a legitimate feeling, and you feel like that with him. And I think that that's a very valuable thing to put out into that world.
I love seeing everything that you guys are posting over on YouTube and Twitter. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to put together we've started putting together like a recommended reading list, but now we have so many more books that you guys have told us about. So I'm very excited that we can start. There's so many great books out there. I mean, we can only, recommend a handful.
Can't be like the whole list.
Let me list all the books you should read.
There's a lot of people in there. I mean, I think, just tweet them with, like, the book and, like, one line of why it had an effect on you. There's tons of people that are tweeting Reasons to Breathe by Rebecca Donovan. The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. That's a good one.
Oh, God, I love that book and that movie.
The Heart of Darkness was a life changer for me. Had to read it in high school, chose to read it in college. It's important to me. These Broken Stars.
Somebody said Matilda.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for Alaska.
I got Insane Reader said Divergent changed my way of viewing people.
Cut. I see Cut by Patricia McCormick. I actually have seen a lot of people recommend that.
And Speak
by Laurie Halls Anderson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That one big time. So thank you guys for such a serious topic.
I know. We were very serious. Let's lighten it up with a question of the day. And then maybe a derp face. You can always bring it back down.
Let me shuffle. Shuffling them. All right. Gotta end it on a good one. What do we get?
Ready?
Yes. Ready? Okay.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yes. I do, actually.
Yeah?
I do. But I'm not so sure if I actually believe or it just stems from a very strong childhood obsession with aliens. When I was in 4th grade, we had to do research papers, and I got Area 51, and I got really into it, and started, like, downloading off, like, Napster, like logs, like, like listening, because people always make these recordings out there, like, try to hear all this stuff, and I just, like, got super, super into it.
I can totally see you.
And I was, like, taking notes, and I had all these big textbooks, and my parents were like, that's not really real. And I was like, yeah, they are.
I was like, I'm going to be the first one to find aliens.
Yeah, they are. The aliens are just hiding underneath the Dayton Air Force Field. Everyone knows that. God. And me and my best friend, we decided that we were aliens from a planet called Spiegel, and this was our symbol.
Oh.
And there was, like, a call that... I'm sorry.
That's really good.
But yes, I do believe in aliens.
I think so.
If we are the only life forms out there, then that's depressing because...
Yeah, I think I believe in aliens, but I don't believe that they look anything.
No.
Or, like, operate in a world that, like, they don't have...
I mean, what's your definition
spaceship.
of alien? Is it, like, life form being of, like, that's sentient, or is it just, like, bacteria?
Yeah, that's what I see it as.
Because if it's bacteria, then
yes.
I mean, we've already found some.
Yeah.
So
there, I mean, like, and I can see it getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean,
do I think that we're going to get abducted by them?
No. I don't know. I don't believe in that kind of alien.
I don't believe in, like, fifth wave style of alien, or, like...
Yeah, I feel like we're the aliens that do the abducting.
Probably.
Like, some bacteria is like, oh my god, there's that spaceship again, and it's come taking me to test me.
But what if it's like V, that show, where they're, like, already here?
Well, that's like...
And they've been here.
And stuff.
Yeah, and
this
then
has all happened
what
before,
if it's
and
like,
will happen again.
Oh my god. Oh, BSG, you're just reminding me of that last episode. Oh, my god. So yes, do you guys think...
do you believe in aliens? Sabrina says, I am an alien.
So
see? You are. We all are.
CT Wood 09, I think it's arrogant to believe that in an infinite universe we're the only intelligent life forms. Not saying I believe in little green people or E.T. Agreed.
That's exactly it.
Agreed.
It's like, there's just so many, like, the universe is so big it blows my mind, and if there aren't other... things.
And let's be honest, our universe is inside a little charm that's on a cat's collar anyway.
Yeah, and Will Smith is going to find it.
Right? Oh my god, that movie's so good.
It's so good.
So that's sort of it today. We will be back next week for cover reveals and a whole cover discussion.
So bring your glasses to protect yourself from the shine of the beauty covers.
Beauteous covers.
What kind of dirt face do you want to do today?
Should we do alien faces?
Okay. I don't even know what that
I don't even know what that is either.
Okay, ready?
I feel like I have to think about it.
Okay, just do it. Ready? Just go with it.
Okay, ready? 1, 2,
3.
And see, I don't even know what I did.
I don't know what I did. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for tea time. This is probably one of my favorites.
This was a good tea time. This was fun.
It felt
good.
Meaty.
It felt very meaty. There will be a recap, so if you're watching this on our blog, thanks.
There's a new subscribe to our YouTube channel in all of the places.
We have new videos coming. New book nerd problems on Monday. New things I learned in YA tomorrow. It'll be on Hypable. I think so.
Hypable at noon, and then YouTube sometime after in the evening tomorrow.
And I think we have another now quoting. We just have more videos coming out. So
tell us if you like them. Please don't be shy of commenting because we don't know if you want more of them.
Exactly.
If you don't tell us.
Be real.
Be real.
Get real, y'all. Look at the people behind us.
Oh, yeah. They're probably going to try to come in here now.
Probably. So we should end. All right. We will see you guys next Wednesday at 3:45. We love you. Hashtag crumpets.
Bye.
Bye.
Hashtag crumpets.
La, la, la.
Butter your crumpets.